land of the free and the home of the brave.
Throwing out the ceremonial first pitch tonight, please welcome Thomas Cummings. Thomas is a sophomore at UMass Amherst, where he studies political science and history. Thomas currently plays baseball for Wareham Legion Post 220, where he pitches and plays the outfield. His future plans include teaching, the education field, and continuing to be involved with baseball. When you're ready, Thomas, let's see the first pitch tonight. Please welcome. Here tonight to say those two words we've all been waiting to hear, please welcome some of the children of the Gatemen host families.
Play ball!
All right, and welcome out to Spillane Field as the Wareham Gatemen open up at home today against the Falmouth Commodores. Alongside Connor Federico, I'm Jacob Toby. It is the Wareham Gatemen sitting at 1-1 hosting the Falmouth Commodores, who come in at 0-2. And it's going to be an interesting game today as the Gatemen open it up at Spillane Field. The weather finally gets nice for us, and now let's run in to the Falmouth starting lineup. It'll be Clayton Daniel, the second baseman, leading off. Logan Davidson, the shortstop, bats second. Alec Baum, the DH. Willie Berger, the returner from last year for Falmouth, bats fourth. He's at first base. Zeke Dodson, the third baseman. Joshua Bro, the catcher. Marty Becca, he is in right field. Bekina, rather. Nate Wickham in center field, and Lee Solomon is the left fielder. He bats ninth. And now the defense for the Wareham Gatemen. Robbie Metz is at third. Ben Baird, the shortstop. Brandon Lockridge at second. Blake Sable at first, and left to right in the outfield, John Topa, Nick Angelini, Andy Shaddid, and William McIver does the clutching for Justin Glover.
Well, Justin Glover, pitcher out of Georgia. He's the first lefty the Wareham Gatemen will start on the mound this season. His freshman year with the Bulldogs, 2 starts, 13 appearances, a 3.94 ERA, 1-2 record. Throw that out as a reliever, and then you've got 14 strikeouts. This guy was drafted in the 26th round of the 2016 first-year player draft of the MLB by the Tampa Bay Rays, and we'll see what he has right now against this Falmouth lineup.
And it's going to be a fun day here at Spillane Field, the opening day, obviously. And it's going to be the host family night as well, as they honored the host families before. First pitch, and here coming up is Clayton Daniel, the second baseman. He's 4 for 8 on the season. A run scored, a double, and 2 RBIs, and he's ready to face the southpaw Glover. Glover deals his first pitch, and it's a ball, and we're underway at Spillane Field in 2017. The Cape Cod Baseball League season at Spillane now starts. And everyone was trying to get the field as beautiful as it looks right now. It's taken a lot of work. They redid the whole infield with new grain, and it looks pretty good.
It looks beautiful. It looks like a great day for baseball.
The weather's nice, too. The bugs were an issue doing the pregame, but we got that settled.
Now that we're up in the booth, this is a nice little view here.
The 2-1 pitch is sent down the third base line. Metz on to first. Robbie Metz obviously playing his second season with the Gatemen back at Spillane Field.
That was a great play by him right there. He looks like he's a veteran there at third base, which he plays second base mostly for the GW Colonials, but he was here last summer, like you said, and the Gatemen used him at all sorts of positions, in the outfield, at second, at third, wherever they needed him. So Robbie Metz, pretty familiar with third base here at Spillane Field. He makes a great play right there.
And now stepping in, Logan Davidson, a shortstop. He's 2 for 8 on the season, and a run scored. First pitch swinging, fouls it straight back. Spillane Field has been home to the Gatemen since the 1960s. Can seat more than 5,000 fans. And the Gatemen, they've won 2 straight home openers. Back in 2016, it was an 8-0 win over Catuit. And then in 2015, a 6-2 win over Hyannis.
Well, there's nothing like playing in your home ballpark, and I know a lot of these guys weren't here last year. This is maybe just their first few weeks here, but when you have home fans wearing your colors, it's nice.
Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good job in this at-bat by Glover, getting ahead in the count, making sure he's throwing first pitch strikes. That's how you get guys out in the Cape Cod Baseball League. That's how you get guys out at any level.
And the 1-2 swung on and missed. Davidson thought about going down to first. He says, all right, I'll just go back. He strikes out, 2 gone here in the first.
Great strikeout there for Glover, his first of the night. I'm really impressed with the variety of pitches he's mixing in right now. He goes off speed in the dirt, fooled the hitter Davidson right there, and he's got 2 away, looking to make this a 1-2-3 inning.
Alec Bohm stepping in the DH. He's 4 for 8 on the season so far for the Commodores. First pitch sent out to right field, going to his left is shattered. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. The Commodores go 1-2-3. The Gatemen will have their first at-bats coming up next here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Back out at Spillane Field, bottom of the first. No score. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. The starting lineup for the Wareham Gatemen goes as follows. Brandon Lockridge is at second base. He'll lead it off for the 3rd straight game. Andy Shadden moves up to the number 2 spot. He's in right field. Willie McIver, the catcher, bats 3rd. Then it goes Jake Anchia, the DH. Blake Sable at 1st. Robbie Metz, the 3rd baseman. John Topa in left field. Ben Baird bats 8th. He's the shortstop. And Nick Angelini bats 9th. He's in center field. The defense for the Commodores is as follows. Zeke Dodson at 3rd base. Logan Davidson, the shortstop. Clayton Daniel at second. At first is Willie Berger. From left to right in the outfield, Lee Solomon, Dale Wickham, Marty Bakina, and Joshua Bro doing the catching for one Dalton Feeney.
Well, Dalton Feeney this year with NC State, he had a 3-2 record as a reliever, 14 appearances. He had 3 starts. So he had a 2.53 ERA, very impressive in the very powerful ACC. And this is a guy who, a lot like Glover, was picked coming out of high school. He was selected in the 40th and final round of the 2016 MLB draft by the Detroit Tigers.
He's getting a lot of warm-up tosses in. Watch out, the throw goes into the center field. But that doesn't matter. And Falmouth coming in today, they're 0-2. They've got a negative 11 run differential. They had some issues coming off a 10-0 loss to Katuitt. That'll put you in for a nice run differential.
I mean, it's similar to what the Gatemen did to Harwich the other night. Once you let a couple runs score when you had the opportunities and didn't come through, the momentum swings against you. That's what Falmouth had happen to them.
Lockridge takes a strike. Gatemen in their nice white uniforms with some different colored socks. That one sent out to right field. Coming in is Bakina. One away.
Not a great at-bat there for Lockridge, but you have to admire the fact that he hustled that on that play the entire way. He was running as soon as the ball left the bat, and he continued to until it was in the glove of the right fielder Bahina. So he's a temp contract guy, so is Shadid, who's up right now, but they've played very well in the early going. You have to be impressed with both their efforts.
Yeah, we talked about pregame who could kind of challenge Lockridge at the top of that order. And you said John Topa maybe could do that, but then again, you may want Topa in the bottom of your lineup too.
Right, he can drive in a lot of runs, and it's really impressive what he's been doing so far, what he did yesterday on a 2-game hitting streak, only 2 games so far for the Gatemen.
And he's shattered at the plate right now for the Gatemen. He's 4 for 8 on the season with a RBI.
Our player of the game yesterday, Shadid, performed very adequately.
2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Shadid 3 for 5, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Had that big RBI double in that 6th inning against the Harwich Mariners. The 2-1, swing and a miss.
2 really impressive back-to-back fastballs right there by Dini. You're not expecting that if you're Shadid. He was late on both of them. He was fooled by the off-speed stuff earlier in the at-bat. So let's see if Feeney's going to change it up here or he's going to keep going fastball at him.
Feeney's 2-2. Oh, close.
He went with the fastball there, and I think that's a really gutsy move. I think it was the right move. Hey, if you're not hitting what I'm giving you, let's keep throwing it. So let's see what he does now with this full count pitch.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Willie McIver, the catcher, on deck. Here comes the 3-2. Strike 3 called. Shadid was all the way down to first base already. He was on his way, but called 3rd strike, and he's retired.
4 straight fastballs by Feeney. We just talked about it. What is he going to do? Fastball. Fastball again. So if that's the way Feeney's going to strike people out, that's great for him.
James Dion, the home plate umpire. Rick Emerson at first, and Robert Dwyer, the umpire, at third. McIver steps in. He's 2 for 9 on the season. He's got an RBI.
Finally getting a start behind the plate tonight is McIver. We're looking forward to seeing him. We saw him in the 8th and 9th innings on Thursday against Harwich.
And before that, he was at third base. Again, Don Snedden saying that his catchers will rotate positions, first, third, catcher. It's important to be that versatile.
Anchia, after getting back-to-back starts at catcher, he's going to DH tonight, so a nice little rest for him. This is probably the hottest and most humid game we've played so far this year here at Spillane Field.
The 3-0 is sent out to center field. Wickham on his horse, and he dives and makes the play to his right. What a play by the center fielder, Wickham, and that'll end the inning. Well, the first inning comes to a close with a bang, and Falmouth and Wareham are tied at 0-0.
Cape Cod Healthcare now offers Cape Cod residents and visitors convenient urgent medical care by emergency room trained physicians at the Fontaine Outpatient Center in Harwich and the Stoneman Outpatient Center in Sandwich. For sore throats and coughs, x-rays and splinting, suturing of lacerations, and much, much more, come to the Stoneman Outpatient Center at 2 Jan Sebastian Drive, just off of Exit 2 in Sandwich, or the Fontaine Outpatient Center at 525 Long Pond Drive, just off Exit 11 in Harwich. Both have extended evening and weekend hours, and both centers are staffed by emergency room physicians. No appointment or referral is necessary. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
No score, top of the second. The Commodores and the Gatemen at Spillane Field. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. What a play by Wickham in center field to end the first
Yeah, I mean, it was an outstanding play. I like the fact that MacGyver got the green light on 3-0, and he hit that ball hard. It was just a little too close to the center fielder.
Willie Berger, the returner from last year's roster with Falmouth, steps in and hacks one foul. Yeah, Willie Berger played his 2016 summer with the Commodores. Played 33 games, sends this one a blooper out to center field. Coming in is the center fielder making a nice play is Angelini. So the center fielder's getting it going here early on.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of stuff you want to see out of your center fielder. Speed, knowledge of where the baseball's coming. I mean, center fielders say it all the time. It's almost cliched that the fact when the ball's coming right to them, that's the hardest play to make. I don't know. Those two plays seem very difficult, Angelini and Wickham. So props to those two. Great jobs.
Zeke Dodson, the third baseman, takes a pitch outside. He's ahead 1-0. Falmouth coming off a 10-0 loss at Katuitt. They only went 8 innings because of the lighting situation at Lowell Park in Katuitt, Mass.
Could have been a mercy rule, too, if we had those in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Not quite sure if there is a mercy rule. We'll have to get someone on that and see if there is. That one sent to the shortstop, Baird, 2 hops, and 2 gone. That'll bring up Joshua Bro, the catcher. In the first inning, Falmouth let up, or in the first 3 innings, Falmouth let up 6 runs. That really did him in early.
Yeah, that was a good play by Baird over there before. He was ranked the #1 shortstop in California at a high school, and his favorite player is Corey Seager, the shortstop for the Dodgers. So that was a very Seager-esque play right there by Baird, just fielding it cleanly, getting it in onto first just in time with a nice, powerful throw. 2 away.
Bro pops one up out to left field. Coming in is Angelini. He will call off Topa, and Baird, who went out there as well, to end the inning. 6 up, 6 down. The Commodores get nothing. It's still 0-0. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cent Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Bottom of the second at Spillane. And Jake Anchia is due up at the plate, followed by Blake Sable and Robbie Metz. Anchia is 1 for 4 on the season with a walk. He's DHing tonight. He's been a catcher the past 2 games.
You can keep that foul ball courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington and his daughter Tevis.
No balls and 1 strike. Wareham coming off the 9-0 win at Harwich. They're supposed to host Hyannis as they go down to first base. Rick Emerson says he did not go. Supposed to host Hyannis yesterday for the season opener at home. All the games in the Cape Cod Baseball League rained out. A 1 ball and 1 strike. Takes one low. In the last 3 seasons, the Gatemen have had to wait at least 2 games before they've had their home opener. This one's sent on a fly into right field. Coming under it is Bakia. He makes the catch, retiring Anchia. And they've had to wait at least 2 games. Back in 2014, they had to wait 3 games for their season opener at home. This year, they had to wait 2 as well. And now Blake Sable will step to the plate. The first baseman today. He's 4 for 9 on the year with an RBI. Bats from the left side, showing bunt and pulls it back. Metz is on deck with 1 out in the inning and no score. The 1-0. Framed by the catcher, Bro, but just a bit outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Feeney's 2-0. Chipped back to Feeney. He'll throw on to first, and an errant throw. But Rick Emerson at first does say they retire Blake Sable. That was a close one there, but 2 outs in the inning.
Well, that was an outstanding play by the first baseman, Berger. The throw moved him away from the bag, but he had the idea in his mind, hey, I can tag this guy out. He gets Sable on the shoulder to retire the second guy of this inning. So both pitchers looking to go 6 up, 6 down here.
It's been quick work so far for the pitchers, Glover and Feeney, as Metz steps in from the right side. And first pitch swinging on to Dodson at third base. Throws on to first and retires aside. So 6 up and 6 down for the Gatemen. And it's still no score here at Spillane Field. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, H.P. Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support. Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2017 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes.
Top of the third, and we're whizzing here at Spillane Field. 6 up, 6 down for both teams. That means 12 up, 12 down, if my math is correct.
I think so. I'm not a math guy, but I think I could figure that one out.
That's why I'm sitting in the seat right now. I'm not a math guy, except stats that are already figured out, and I can nitpick which ones I want.
Right.
Marty Bakina, the right fielder, will step in. It's Bakina, Wickham, and Solomon.
Close pitch there from Glover. He's been dealing so far, as we've said, 6 up, 6 down. He's gotten 2 ground outs and 3 fly outs, along with the strikeout. Now he goes behind 2-0. I've loved everything he's thrown so far. I think every pitch has a purpose right now. I think he's not wasting anything in terms of missing spots. He might be missing the strike zone just to throw off hitters a bit.
2-0 sent out to center field. Angelini on his horse. Makes the catch and runs into the wall. Watch out.
That ball might have gone all the way back to the pseudo warning track, but it's still an out. And Glover's doing a good job getting these hitters to hit the ball high in the air, not necessarily very hard. And it's been working out so far.
Dale Wickham, the center fielder, will step in for the Commodores. Wickham is 0 for 7 so far, looking for his first hit of the Cape League season. Sends that one foul.
Angelini's been busy out there in center field for the Gatemen. He has 3 putouts already in this game, 2 in the last inning, including that diving catch in shallow center field.
0-1, popped up, ranging over to his right is Angelini. He'll be called off by Topa for the second out. A lot of flyouts so far.
Yeah, and I mean, what Glover's doing well is putting the ball high in the zone so hitters want to swing at it, but don't put it in a sweet spot. So if you're going to throw it high in the zone, you got to make sure that it's going to be either inside, central, or outside, depending on what the hitter's weakness is. And I think he knows the scouting report on each of these hitters right now. I think Coach Lawler and Coach Sneddon know it in the dugout. They're giving McIver and Glover the signs, and he's doing a great job executing out there.
Lee Solomon, the left fielder, will step in with 2 outs. And still no score. Takes a ball outside. A 1-0. Breaking ball in for a strike. Nice spot there.
Great backdoor pitch. That one started at the edge of the lefty's batter's box. It came all the way inside to clip the outside corner of the plate.
1-1, similar pitch, same
Did the
spot.
exact same thing, and it was a really good spot. So we said before with Feeney, he went with a couple straight fastballs in the same spot to get by Shatted. Is Glover going to do the same thing here? Keep hitting that well.
Glover's 1-2. Sent foul.
Fastball was the good choice there, and Solomon almost struck out, but he just got a bit of the bat on it to keep this at-bat alive.
They've extended the safety netting for the bleachers here at Spillane Field on both ends. The first base line and the third base line. The 1-2 inside and low. That's a thing especially Major League Baseball has been having to deal with, is the hot foul balls coming your way without the netting. Glover's 2-2, swung on in, missed. Nice breaking ball there from Glover. And it's 9 up and 9 down. It's still no score here at Spillane Field, here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League. The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
John Topa, Ben Baird, Nick Angelini for the Gatemen to face Dalton Feeney. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. Claudia Chikamian on the sidelines as well. And Matt Feld, our beat writer, on hand tonight at Spillane Field. Turning out to be a pretty nice day. Topa showing bunt early on.
Well, we talked about his speed in the pregame. He has plenty of it. He had 10 stolen bases this year with UConn. So, he's definitely a guy that could be that leadoff candidate. But we said, put him deeper in this lineup, put him behind guys like Metz and Sabol, and he's going to drive in runs. So it's all about what the coaching staff wants to do right now, and right now they're on a one-game winning streak, and they can do no wrong.
1-1 inside. Again, we apologize for any technical difficulties on the screen right now. We're trying to work those out. A little fuzzy, but we'll get there. The 2-1 is low, and now a nice hitter's count here for Topa. Does Topa look to swing here, or does he look to take the walk down to first?
Well, I think you got to look for your pitch. Put it in a small little box in your mind, wherever you want it. Drive that pitch if you see it.
He does just that. Over the second baseman, Daniel, into right field for a base hit. He does exactly what you just said.
Well, he was looking for that pitch the whole way. It was on the middle inside half of the plate and just about between the waist and knee levels. So I think Topa did a good job saying, I'm going to leave this bat on my shoulder if it's not in the exact spot I want it. And that's what happens with a 3-1 count or a 2-0 count. That's what hitters can do. That's what hitters can say to themselves. And that's why hitters are generally more successful on those counts.
First hit of the evening for both teams was Topa's single right there. Now Ben Baird, the shortstop, is at the plate for the Gatemen, batting from the right side. First pitch swinging down the third baseline, and that'll be ruled foul by home plate umpire James Dion. Oregon State and Cal State Fullerton played today in the College World Series. Oregon State came back to win 6-5. Of course, that means Brett Canine, who was a pitcher last summer for the Gatemen and coming back this summer, is now eliminated from the tournament.
No, he has the double elimination.
Oh, the double elimination, excuse me.
So the baseball Titans are on their last legs.
Yes. Stephen Kwan, who's also coming, went 0 for 3. Baird takes the ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kwan's a center fielder, so there's going to be some nice outfield pieces for the Gatemen on the bench, what they go with the rotation.
Yeah, and I think Garrett Zeck, a guy who hasn't gotten a start yet, he's a guy that's talented enough to be a starter. Shadid and Angelini have been absolutely excellent.
Baird was fooled there on the breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Around the Cape League right now, bottom of the 5th in Yarmouth Dennis Harwich, who the Gatemen beat on Thursday. They have a 5-2 lead right now at Red Wilson Field. Yarmouth Dennis beat them on opening night in the 10th inning.
1-2, chopped high to the shortstop Davidson. They'll go to second for 1, on to first, not in time, so Baird will reach on the fielder's choice. Topa retired at second, 1 gone.
Yeah, no way you're going to turn a double play there, but I think the combo in the middle infield of Davidson and Daniel made the right call of giving it over to the second baseman, Daniel. I'm not sure if he was out. It was definitely a close play. But Baird has a bit of speed too, just like Topa, so just trading base runners there.
The Bryant product, the freshman Nick Angelini, will step in with a runner on first. And he takes a strike. Angelini just an amazing freshman year, .318 average, 6 homers, 37 runs batted in, .419 on base percentage, and he chops this one to the second baseman Daniel, and he goes on to first, and he's safe. Interesting play there from Daniels. He didn't know what to do almost.
Decision making in baseball games, you sit around for most of the game, and then when the ball's hit to you, you got to make a split-second decision. He made the wrong one right there. In fact, he didn't really make any decision. I think he wanted to flip it onto Davidson. Either the ball got stuck or he thought maybe he should step on the bag himself. That was a tailor-made double play ball, and Daniel not doing a great job there. So Gatemen with 2 runners on now.
And Lockridge, who flew out to right field his first time up, finds himself with runners at first and second.
We're lucky we're playing tonight, Jacob. 2 games tonight were rained out. Not because of rain that happened during the day, but because last night the rain was it was coming down so much that fields weren't ready. So Brewster and Chatham are not playing tonight in Brewster, and Hyannis and Cotuit are not playing tonight. So a couple teams get the night off.
That last play on Clayton Daniel, the second baseman, was ruled an error. So Angelini reaches on the error. Now it's Lockridge at the plate, sends one to the third baseman. Dodson, he bumbles it. Does he get there in time at third? He doesn't. That will surely be an error. And now the bases are loaded for the Gatemen.
Well, once he bobbled the ball, Dodson, I mean, he made the right call trying to get over to third base as quick as possible. Ben Baird, he had a good read on the ball right away, took off for third base, got there just in time, and another tailor-made double play ball, and you don't record a single out. Gatemen in a good spot right now.
And guess who's up to the plate? It's Andy Shatted, who's been red hot. He's 4 for 9 on the season. He now has got the bases loaded here in the third inning with no score. Takes a pitch inside.
This game has gone by unbelievably quickly so far. I can't believe we're already in the third inning. But the Gatemen, they had 2 innings against Harwich where they put runs on the board, and those were big innings for them, so we'll see if this could be a spot right here for Shattuck.
1-0 to Shattuck, fouled straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baird is at third, Angelini at second, and Lockridge at first. Shattuck in a big spot. Feeney deals the 1-1. And for a strike, a fastball placed on the inside part.
And it's a good pitch there. And Shattuck, he still has the same situation. 1 out, bases loaded. He drove in a couple runs yesterday, as we've been saying. So this is big for him right now.
Bases loaded, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Close, a breaking ball missing chest high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and with the count even now, Shattuck, he doesn't have the freedom that we were talking about in the 3-1 count where you can pick your spot. But you have to be aware that, he's going to try to go off speed possibly with the 2-2.
Here comes the 2-2. He didn't bite.
Off speed in the dirt, so Shattuck was ready for it. Make sure he didn't pull the trigger. Now I think with the full count and the bases loaded, you have to expect fastball. I do not think the pitcher is going to try to paint the corners here. Feeney, I think he's going to give him a pitch that Shattuck can hit, and he has to do the right thing with the ball here.
Bases loaded, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Feeney's pitch to Shattuck. Chopped down the third base line, foul.
So he extends the at-bat. Little bit of an off-speed pitch there. I don't think that was a fastball. I think that was a generic changeup. So Feeney's got to throw something in the strike zone here, or else the Gatemen are going to get a run the easy way, and that's not what you want to do. Pitching coach before the game for Falmouth was telling me we want to attack the strike zone. We don't want to dance around any hitters. We want to throw strikes, and that's how we're going to win.
Shattuck has the bases loaded. Here comes the 3-2. Strike 3 called. Dion rings him up. And Shattuck didn't like it.
I don't know where Shattuck thought that pitch was. That ball clearly came over the inner half of the strike zone. I think you got to be swinging there. You can't be trying to walk with the bases loaded and 1 out. Hit a fly ball that'll score a run somehow. Shattuck has the speed that he's not going to get doubled up. Just put the ball in play, you're going to score a run. I don't think that was the right call by Andy there.
William McIver now has a chance, but there are 2 outs. Bases still loaded. Ball in the dirt, nicely blocked by the catcher, Joshua Bro.
McIver, he hit into a couple double plays yesterday, but he also drove in a run and scored. So he seems comfortable in this 3 spot. When you're hitting third in any baseball lineup, it's a tall task. It's a lot of responsibility. And I think Willie McIver, he's got the backbone to do it.
Feeney's 1-0 to McIver, sent into the air into foul territory. The first baseman, Berger, under it, makes the catch, and the Gatemen can't get in a run as they leave the bases loaded. So it'll stay no score at Spillane Field. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists, who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com, or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
The Gatemen leave the bases loaded. And it's still no score. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico, and we're now already in the 4th inning.
Yeah, it's been moving quickly, but, I mean, disappointing at-bats by Shadid and McIver in the last half inning. And, you know, we talked about the Harwich game and how Montgomery left 2 bases loaded and no-out opportunities off for the Mariners, and how that momentum possibly swung the Gatemen into their big innings. So, you know, the last thing you want if you're a Gatemen fan is for Falmouth to be feeling fired up right now after some great pitching to get out of that inning by Feeney.
Clayton Daniel, the second baseman, at the plate. A 1-1 pitch, skied in the air. Going out there is Ben Baird. He's called off by Topa in left field. Topa retires Daniel for the first out in the 4th.
So we talked about Glover being a fly ball pitcher, but, I mean, that wasn't the pitch he delivered right there. That was low in the zone, and usually those ones get grounded out, but that's why that ball was popped up so high in the air. Daniel took almost a golf swing at that one.
Logan Davidson, who struck out back in the 1st, is now at the plate. Talking about the rainout game a couple days ago. It is now moved to 6:30 Monday. That'll be at Spillane Field versus Hyannis. As Davidson gets a called strike.
I mean, we're lucky we only had 1 rain out in the past 2 days. That just speaks to the professionalism that the people who take care of the field here at Spillane have, and they were ready for this game where those 2 rainouts today in Brewster and in Hyannis, that's just because the fields weren't ready from the rain the night before. So it was a torrential downpour on Cape Cod, but it certainly wasn't bad enough where teams couldn't have played today.
1-1. Rifled foul down the first baseline. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alec Baum waiting on deck, the DH. Glover shook off a couple pitches. Here comes the 3-2, or the 1-2 rather. And he went around, says home plate umpire James Dion. 2 outs. Davidson strikes out for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, Davidson was Glover's first strikeout victim, and Glover did all the right things against him in this first at-bat. He threw the 3-2 pitch down in the dirt, got away with the check swing. I don't like the fact that James Dion, said that he went on his own. I would have preferred if he threw it down to Rob Dwyer, the third base umpire, and seen if he indeed did. But the Gatemen get the call that they want, 2 away.
First 11 retired by Glover as Alec Boehm steps in.
Well, we were talking to Coach Don Sneddon before the game, Claudia Chikamian was, and he told us that, these players are on loan, especially the pitchers. We got to treat them as if...
A 1-0 sent out to deep left center field. Going over is Topa. It's actually going to be Angelini on the run. He's been busy out there. He retires Boehm to end the inning. So 12 up and 12 down. The Commodores cannot hit Glover right now, and it's still no score at Spillane Field. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Give the gift of life. Donating blood is an easy, quick, safe way to save a life. Blood collected at Cape Cod Healthcare blood drives stay on Cape Cod and is used to treat people here. For information on upcoming blood drives, or if your organization is interested in sponsoring a blood drive, visit capecodhealth.org or call 508-862-5278. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Back at Spillane Field, top of the fifth, Jacob Toby, and I'm happy to be joined by Mary Chaplin, the Director of Housing for the Wareham Gatemen. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm good. Now, I've known you since last year,
Yes.
because we met when I was with the Gatemen last year as well. Willie Berger, or rather, Jake Anchia for the Gatemen steps in the bottom of the fourth, and now you're the Director of Housing. Kind of tell me how it all works, how it comes together. How do you get these players into houses?
Well, we ask for volunteers, and go ahead. You can.
No, you can keep talking. It's okay.
I don't want to interrupt the play-by-play.
No, it's okay. Keep going.
Okay.
Talk to us. We want to hear from you.
All right. So we ask for volunteers, and then we interview them at their home.
And when sent on the second base, and Anchia is retired for the first out.
And then we. What was I going to say?
How do you, get the families, get the players into the families?
Oh, that we have to make sure they're not allergic to pets and other things, and we try to match up the family's interest to the player's interest so that it's a good match and everyone has a great summer.
Blake Sabol, the catcher, or rather the first baseman, steps in. He's 0 for 1 so far. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's a around-the-year job to get these players in here.
Yes, and it's around the year to get host families.
Yep.
And our host families are fantastic. They are generous and flexible, and they really enjoy hosting the ball players.
How many new ones do you have this year coming in?
New host families?
Yes.
We have 5.
5.
And some started out as temporary, wanting to host only temporary players because they didn't know if they would like the experience, and now they don't want to let their ball player go.
No. You become part of the family.
Yes. And that's the other thing, too. Both the families and the ball players form lifelong friendships.
3 balls and 1 strike. Blake Sabol. Here it comes. And down to first base goes Sabol. What was your relationship like with the Gatemen in the past before you became a host? Were you were a host mom before that, and then you became the director, so how did that all play out? What was your history?
Well, our family's always loved baseball, and we came to a game, and they asked us if we wanted to be a host family, and we said yes, and we hosted for 3 or 4 years, and then I was doing meals at the field, which is where we feed the players and the broadcasters. And then
so good. The food's great.
And then they asked me to be director of housing. So we first hosted a ball player in 2006.
Runner goes, but that one sent foul. Robbie Metz at the plate with Blake Sable at first. Anyone that's made the major leagues that's been staying at your house? That's been with you before?
Not in my house. In Mattapoisett, but not in my house.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing. Our host families are from Wareham, Marion, Mattapoisett. So it's not just Wareham.
Check over at Sable at first. He's back safely.
Nice view up here.
It is. It is a good view. It's different. You're always roaming around. I see you roaming around talking to different people all the time.
Yes.
You're never really sitting. You're always mingling.
Always mingling. Well, like I said, so we interview the families. We see the accommodations. We make sure that the players don't have any allergies that would affect their staying in a house. And
Swing and a miss, and Metz goes down swinging for the second out of the inning.
it's a great big puzzle.
And how important is a day like today with all the host families getting together? They were recognized before the game and all that. How important is that to reach out to maybe new host families that are trying to see if they want to get in on the business?
I hope it does bring in new host families, because that was really great to have them all recognized. It's sort of an unforgotten part of the organization.
Runner goes down to second base, and the throw sails into center field. Sable will be safe. That was a close one. Pitch was called a strike on John Topa. So it's no balls and one strike with 2 outs, and now a runner in scoring position. And what's your best memory as director of housing or a host mom?
That's a tough one,
It is a tough one.
because I have stories about all of them. Not all for public consumption either.
It can't be said on the air?
No. No,
That's okay.
The best memories is once we started hosting broadcasters instead of ball players. The first year we had 2 broadcasters, Alex and Kevin, and they just joined in the wiffle ball games in the backyard, and it was really great.
You hosted my broadcast partner from last summer, Jake Garcia.
I did.
Andre Sims as well.
Actually, Jake was with us for 2 years.
Yep. 0-2 pitch in the dirt.
And that's the thing, too. I may not always hear from them regularly, but if either they or I have a reason to reach out, it's immediate connection. And I just had a 2-day-long Facebook message with one of our former summer sons.
Runner on second, the 1-2. Up and away. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. The bottom half of the 4th inning, the Gatemen trying to get their first run of the day. Blake Sable, the first baseman, is at second. And John Topa is the left fielder. He's at the plate. Feeney's 2-2. Low and a full count. Well, Mary, it's been a pleasure having you.
I've enjoyed it, Jacob.
And obviously, I'll be seeing you later on.
Yes.
But thank you for joining us. Director of Housing, Mary Chaplin, thank you.
Thank you.
So 3 balls and 2 strikes to John Topa with a runner at second base. And time called at the plate.
Well, Jacob, since we were just talking to Mary Chaplin, our Director of Housing, the Gatemen family would like to say hello to Alice and Ray Rivers in Port Charlotte, Florida, and please hurry back. Host family here in Wareham for a very long time.
3-2, called strike 3. And Feeney gets out of the jam. Back-to-back strikeouts. He ends the inning. The Gatemen strand 1, and they can't get a run. You're listening and watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Give the gift of life. Donating blood is an easy, quick, safe way to save a life. Blood collected at Cape Cod Healthcare blood drives stay on Cape Cod and is used to treat people here. For information on upcoming blood drives, or if your organization is interested in sponsoring a blood drive, visit capecodhealth.org or call 508-862-5278. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
The American flag, the best flag out there.
It's a beautiful symbol of freedom and liberty.
It is.
And baseball.
And baseball, that's a thing. Jacob Toby back with Connor Federico. Took a short break to let Mary come on.
Mary is my host mom this summer. She's absolutely fantastic.
Willie Berger at the plate, and Justin Glover still on the hill. Yeah, you like her, don't you?
I mean, I think the thing we should get across to the parents listening at home right now is that your child is in really good hands with these host families. Mary does a fantastic job going through the interview process, making sure that every host family is adequate in terms of how they are with the players and how they are, at home and what their living situation is like. So your children are just fine, believe me.
Well, the Gatemen stranded 3 back in the third. They left the bases loaded, then they stranded 1 in the fourth. Blake Sable was left at second. And runs have been hard to come by here in this game. Still a 0-0 ball game here at Spillane.
Well, both pitchers, Glover and Feeney, have been doing a great job using all the pitches that they have. Neither one of them has more than 3 pitches. They've been using it effectively, and Glover does right there.
Willie Berger swings and misses, and that's the 4th strikeout for Glover.
The third baseman, number 7, Zeke Dodson.
So Glover on fire right now. It's Zeke Dodson who will get another crack. He, back in the second, grounded to the shortstop, Ben Baird. And there's that breaking ball that's just been so good so far. 0-1, just a bit outside.
He's been using that all day, trying to get it, to a righty batter with his lefty arm, trying to sneak a slider, it seems like, and trying to sneak it inside, backdoor strike. He does it right here.
The 1-1 sent over to the second baseman. Lockridge throws to first. 2 gone.
That was about the only thing that Dodson could have done with that pitch. It was located perfectly on the lower outer part of the plate. And it was that backdoor slider that we've been talking about. He gives them back-to-back pitches in similar spots. Dodson trying to get it between the 3-4 gap on the right side of the field. And it was a better play by Lockridge to retire the second out of the inning.
Joshua Breaux ended the second inning on a flyout to Topa in left field. He comes up with 2 outs in the 5th. Fouls one straight back.
3 straight of those sliders out of the arm of Glover. He's locating it well. I mean, he missed that one. It was a bit high. But, I don't think Breaux was expecting that, and that's why he fouled it off. 0-1.
Glover shaking his hand a little bit. Maybe didn't like the signs.
I think it's a humid night, and he might have not had a great grip on the ball right there. Yeah, you see him shaking his glove there.
Breaux got a piece of that one, so it's quickly 0-2.
Magic trick by MacGyver right there. I have no idea how that ball ended up in his right hand after it got fouled off, but catchers can do some amazing work. I mean, they're by far the smartest players on the diamond at all times. They got to know what each signs are. They have to know how to call a game in terms of pitches.
Glover's 0-2. Breaking ball outside.
Good idea there. With the limited pitch count, you never like to waste too many pitches, but with 0-2, you can certainly afford it. See if he goes back with that backdoor slider, tries to blow a fastball by Breaux.
1-2.
Just missed. Little low. He's really working that backdoor slider now. He should be careful because if you give, 3 hitters the same thing too many times in a row, the hitters behind him are going to pick up on it and look for that spot.
Glover's 2-2. That is sent into right field. And a base hit, the first of the night. 14 retired until Joshua Breaux gets a piece of Justin Glover.
We said be careful, don't go back to the same thing too many times. Glover was feeling a little too confident in that pitch. You see him sort of not loving the decisions he just made. But up until that point, he was doing a fantastic job dealing the baseball.
The no-hitter will not be at Spillane Field tonight.
No, sir.
Now, I want to ask you a question as Marty Bakina, the right fielder, steps in. Are you a broadcaster that doesn't like to say anything about a no-hitter?
I wouldn't have said anything.
I wasn't going to either.
Very good. So now we know. I guess we can now say, Glover had a no-hitter to that point.
Exactly. There's ways you can phrase it.
Yeah.
15 up, 15 down was what I was going to say.
Yep.
But in no way, shape, or form will the words no-hitter coming out of my mouth.
Or the even crazier one, the perfect game.
The perfect game, yeah.
Not that Coach Sneddon would have let one of his pitchers go the distance.
But a team no-hitter was surely in the works, and a perfect game, perhaps. It's been done.
Well, the fact that you last that long into 4 2/3 innings is very impressive in itself. Glover insists on going back to that backdoor slider, and I don't know why. It's been effective, but if you do it multiple times in a row, it's not a home run pitch. So there's no way a hitter can take that deep, especially at Spillane Field, but you're going to get singles out of it to right field.
Glover looks on at first, the 2-1, sent right to the shortstop, Baird. And the side is retired. So Falmouth keeps one on the base paths. They still can't score. Now we'll send it to our sideline reporter, Claudia Chikamian, with Don Sneddon.
Welcome back. I'm here with Coach Sneddon. So first of all, it's a very good pitcher's duel so far. So do you think that's what's going to come down to is the pitches at the end of the day?
Yeah, this is what it's going to happen again in this league. It's just going to be like that. And we had an opportunity again. We struck out. All we had to do was put the ball in play. And as I've said many, many times, I'll probably say it a few more thousand times this year, we got to learn to be able to put the ball in play with 2 strikes.
And just like that, how crucial is it moving forward to capitalize on those opportunities? Third inning, you had that perfect opportunity, bases loaded, only 1 out.
Yeah, they made a couple errors. We need to do that. And again, we just need to be able to put the ball in play, and then we had ourselves a run right there. So we got to improve upon that.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Back to you, Jacob.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Back here at Spillane Field in the bottom of the 5th, the Gatemen and the Commodores tied up at 0. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. Claudia Chikamian as well. And Matt Feld on hand. The whole crew. Sam Corman's with the cable side tonight.
Yeah, if you're in the Wareham area, feel free to turn on WCTV if you'd like and listen to our good buddy Sam Corman, who will be joining us on this broadcast tomorrow.
Number 3, Ben Baird.
Ben Baird reached on a fielder's choice and was stranded at third, back in the 3rd. He'll be facing Feeney.
Baird, a guy who has collegiate league experience with the Wilson Tobbs of the Coastal Plain League last year, hit .316, had 25 RBIs. 36 stolen bases. Can you believe that? 36 stolen bases.
I call that wheels.
He led the Tobbs to a 35-25 season, and they lost in the Coastal Plain League semifinals.
He's a draft pick, 20th round by the Cleveland Indians just last year. And hey, his father played in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles. Dave Baird. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, when you have a football mentality, it really translates into other sports.
1-1. Davidson at short. And 1 out. I think a lot of people are now realizing that you don't need to necessarily specialize in one sport. It's multiple sports. Coaches love when people play basketball, baseball, football, soccer, any combination. AAU is now starting to not be as popular because, you want your guys in multiple different situations in multiple sports.
Back when we were in middle school, in the past decade, it was a lot of times, I'm going to quit this sport, which I'm very good at and I have a lot of experience and I love to play this sport that I have possibly college or professional hopes and dreams of. And then in the past few years, coaches have said, no, that's not what we want to do. That's not what we want you to do. We want you to have experiences in as many sports as possible. Like you said, get those reps mentally all over the place in all different sort of sports. I mean,
just
they're all translatable.
Well-rounded, makes you more well-rounded.
Right. The only time where it's heartbreaking is, some of these baseball guys, especially where I'm from.
Angelini chops one high to Dodson at third, guns it to first for 2 outs.
A lot of the baseball guys where I'm from, they end up quitting for lacrosse. And because they're both spring sports, you can't play them both at the same time. But I think football, baseball is a great combo if you're looking for power out of a baseball player, if you're looking for a winning and teammate-oriented mindset. I think soccer and baseball is a great mix if you're looking for finesse players, if you're looking for guys with speed, guys with heart.
Lockridge at the plate. Fouls one off to the left. 0-1.
Lockridge from Pensacola Catholic High School in Pensacola, Florida, named All-Area his junior and senior years, and a member of the 2013 state and national championship teams for Pensacola High.
Fouls this one back, and it's quickly 0-2.
A lot of these hitters tonight for the Gatemen have been trouble keeping up with the fastball of this Falmouth pitcher, Feeney. It's not super commanding, but I think his off-speed stuff is so good that it really throws you off.
Lockridge rips one to the shortstop. Can he beat it out? He doesn't. Rick Emerson calls him out, and Lockridge is retired. So 3 up and 3 down. We still have no score at Spillane on opening night. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org. The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
The 6th inning at Spillane Field. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. And a new pitcher for the Wareham Gatemen, it's Peyton Culbertson out of Arkansas State.
Culbertson, good year with Arkansas State Red Wolves this year. He comes in relief here for the Gatemen, but he was entirely a starter for the Red Wolves this season. He had 15 starts, 66 strikeouts. Very impressive stuff. His freshman year was impressive as well in 8 starts. Had a 4-0 record, and in 43 innings threw 31 strikeouts. So this is a guy with experience, and he's going to try to get his 6'1", 205 frame to throw some strikes here for the Gatemen.
Dale Wickham bats from the left side, and he'll face Culbertson here. First pitch swinging, fouls it to his left and out of play. Glover goes 5 innings, gives up only a hit, no earned runs, doesn't walk anybody, and strikes out 4.
That's really impressive, the lack of walks. I mean, that's what you want to see if you're Coach Jim Lawler.
Quickly 0-2 here to Wickham. It's Wickham, Solomon, and back to the top of the order in Clayton Daniel. Culbertson's 0-2 pitch.
Ooh,
just misses.
That was a really good pitch. I don't know where that was. It was probably low. But that slider has a lot of action on it. The righty came in a couple of inches and came back to the center of the plate. It must have been low. That's the only place it missed.
Culbertson's 1-2. Staying alive.
Exact same pitch. So, I mean, that might come back to haunt the Gatemen pitchers in this game. You know, they still haven't given up any runs. But if they do, I'd be weary if they're throwing the same pitches in the same spots consecutively.
Culbertson trying to get the signs from McIver. He nods, and he deals the 1-2. Rifled foul. Watch out.
Hit the high school there. Thank goodness it's Saturday. There should be nobody
in there.
Nobody in there.
I've not seen a broken window here, but the music does come on with the broken glass sound.
Okay.
It didn't come on there, though.
Maybe we'll hear it eventually.
Glover threw 52 pitches, 33 for strikes.
And the reason I say the no walks is it's truly impressive. I mean, you know, oftentimes people say, oh, single's the same as a walk. Well, not really, because if you give up a base hit, it means you threw a good pitch in the strike zone. Walks, you're throwing 4 like that one right there that missed pretty badly.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Wickham. Swing and a miss. Culbertson comes in and gets his first strikeout as a Wareham Gateman. 1 gone.
Good pitch right there. I mean, it was the slider. It was high. I think McIver wanted that one low, but a strikeout's a strikeout no matter where the pitch is. So Culbertson, right now, he's pitching all right. Not working as quickly as Glover did, but most certainly as effectively.
So 1 down. Lee Solomon, who struck out to end the 3rd, steps in and now faces Culbertson for the first time. Culbertson will mix 4 pitches. His fastball ranges 91 to 94. But command, especially early on in innings, was an issue. Off-speed stuff looking pretty good so far.
And I think he's locating well. I think all his pitches so far are doing what he wants them to be doing. We haven't seen a lot of fastballs or change-ups, but the slider looks really good. Yeah, that one moved at least 4 or 5 inches. It started in the center of the plate and then trailed off. Solomon's lucky he got the bat on the ball there.
In his freshman season, he had a 5.44 ERA. That jumped to 6.32 his sophomore season. The 1-2. Framed by the catcher McIver, close, but Dion at home plate wasn't buying it. It has been a pitcher's duel tonight. No runs yet for either team. And we're here in the 6th. The 2-2 pitch from Culbertson. Contact made by Solomon onto first. And he retires Solomon. 2 gone.
Good play by Metz right there, staying back on the ball, waiting for it to come to him. He understands the infield here at Spillane. It's familiar to him. And he's doing a good job of teaching these young Gatemen how to play the field. He's older by a year or 2 than most of the guys that are here, and he has that year of experience that helps. Saw him in practice earlier, fielding third base, fielding bunts, fielding ground balls, wanted to get reacclimated to it.
Clayton Daniel, he's 0 for 2 on the night. steps in and takes a ball, 1-0. Again, Metz has played every single position on this field except behind the plate.
That is a good-looking slider from Culbertson. It's moving a lot, and it's fooling hitters right now. I mean, you can go back from an at-bat and say, oh, he's got a slider and it moves, but not, they're not picking up on the speed, which is odd.
2 balls and 1 strike to Daniel.
Not a bad pitch there at all. I like the location. It hit McIver's glove exactly where it wanted to.
Nice hitter's count here for Daniel. 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. And he's going to walk down to first.
Well, not a bad sequence of pitches. A few just barely missed. That one was in the dirt, so, I mean, Daniel deserves the walk there. And 2-out walks are the one thing you don't want to do when you're a pitcher. And Culbertson comes in for his first inning of work, and he gives away the first walk of this game for Gatemen pitchers.
Logan Davidson, the shortstop, he has struck out twice. He's got a runner on first base here with 2 outs in the inning.
Davidson getting a little different matchup now, hitting on the left side. Instead of facing the lefty Glover, the righty comes in, Culbertson. Always an advantage for lefty hitters when you're hitting a righty instead of a lefty.
Daniel is the runner at first. He walked with 2 outs. Runner goes. Hit and run on. Doesn't matter, as Davidson is retired by Lockridge at second, and that'll end the inning. So Falmouth strands 1. It's still no score at Spillane. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Pitching change for Falmouth. Dalton Feeney, 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned, 1 walk and 4 Ks. Tyler Blome, the new pitcher.
Well, Tyler Blome, he's a lefty now, so the Gatemen started with the lefty and moved to the righty, and Falmouth started with the righty. They'll move to the lefty here. So, Don Sneddon, when you have a lefty pitcher coming on for the latter half of the game, it definitely creates a chess match in the dugout. You're not sure. You have some of these lefties that are going to come up for the Gatemen pretty soon, and you got to say, hey, I mean, what do we want to do against this guy? Do we want to pinch hit for him? There are plenty of righties sitting on the bench right now. So 6'3", 180, just finished his freshman year with Maryland, and he's a Maryland native coming up to the Cape Cod Baseball League, his first appearance right now.
It'll be Andy Shattuck, Willie McIver, and Jake Anchia to face Tyler Blome. Shattuck is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. First pitch swinging, sends one out to left field. Going back is Solomon. That one's pretty deep, but Solomon makes the catch. Shattuck sent that one for a ride.
Yeah, Shattuck almost had his first home run of the season, first home run for any Gateman this 2017 year. Just a lot of space out there in left field. Center field, it's 412 feet out there. I mean, you're going to have trouble hitting home runs in this ballpark. I can't wait for the All-Star weekend this year because the home run derby, you're going to see the best of the best, or else you're going to see guys that are going to go down swinging without a single home run.
Willie McIver takes a strike. Second time in 3 years, Wareham will host the All-Star game. Hosted it back in 2015. This year it's scheduled for July 22nd. That is a Saturday night.
Tyler Blum.
This one sent into right field. McIver's got a base hit.
Well, he had one yesterday in the game against Harwich. He has one here. He did a good job taking a pitch on the outside and taking it for a ride out to right field, hitting it the other way. That's just basic hitting right there. That's just hand-eye coordination. That's just being smart, knowing the pitches that are going to come in at you, and McIver strokes a base hit.
And Chia comes in 0 for 2, flew out to right field and grounded out to second base. He's got McIver at first. Ball in the dirt, nicely blocked by Bro, the catcher.
This would be a great time for the Gatemen to get some runs. I mean, of course, all times in the game of baseball are a good time to get some runs, but when it's a 0-0 game in the bottom of the 6th, you've already had the bases loaded once in this contest. You want to keep momentum on your side. You want to put some runs together.
That one in the dirt, skips to the backstop, and to second base goes Willie McIver.
Great awareness by him. I mean, I think I could have taken a base there, but McIver took off as soon as that ball was, as soon as it got under the legs of the catcher, Bro. So now Bro is going to have a chat with the new pitcher, Blum, who this year with Maryland had a 3.48 ERA, 8-6 record, 16 starts and 16 appearances, so solely as a starter for the Terrapins this year, and 71 strikeouts and 75 innings pitched. Also of note, the Maryland roster has a Taylor Bloom, not to be confused with this year's Falmouth Commodore, Tyler Blum. They're spelt almost identically.
And Chia's got a 2-0 count. Runner goes to third. And no throw from the catcher, Bro. So now, Chia's got the Gatemen's first run 90 feet away and a 3-0 count.
Fantastic job right there by Willie McIver. I mean, he seemed to be heads up at all times. Great job taking that base. In summer ball last year in 2016, he had 4 stolen bases for the Walla Walla Sweets.
That one inside, and Chia goes down to first. Blake Sable comes up with runners at the corners and 1 out in the 6th.
It's a shame that these Gatemen jerseys are so beautiful and white, because if you look at McIver's jersey right now, it looks like he got, run over by a car with some leftover oil on its tire. I mean, but this...
He's getting down and dirty.
Yes, Spillane Field looks great right now, and gray looks good on the jerseys, but it's not going to come out easy in the wash tonight.
Sable walked his last time up. Now he's got a chance to drive in the Gatemen's first run. First pitch swinging, sends one foul over the school down the third baseline.
Anchia doesn't have a ton of speed over there at first base, but I would like to see Don Sneddon and the Gatemen put him in motion, take the possibility of a double play ball off the table. That would make it a lot easier on Sabol to just swing the bat and know if you put it in play, you're going to drive in a run. Right now, infielders on the corners.
That one a hanging breaking ball sent into left field. A diving play made by Solomon. The run will score, though. A nice play from Solomon, but the Gatemen get their first run of the season at home on a sac fly by Blake Sable.
Gatemen fans really excited right now, and they have a lot to be excited about. They took this lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Great hit by Sabol. I know he's out, but it was an outstanding catch by Solomon out there in left field. But once you dive on a sac fly situation, there's really no way that you're going to have any chance of getting that runner. So you get the second out of the inning, but you trade it for a run. Gatemen have a 1-0 lead.
Really impressed with the outfield play by both teams tonight. Some diving plays made as Robbie Metz is at the plate.
Solomon has both putouts in this inning. He made the catch all the way at the wall over by the fly ball by Shadid earlier in this bottom of the 6th.
Big cut and miss from Metz. And she is still over there at first.
So Sabol has back-to-back RBI games. He drove one in yesterday, or Thursday rather, against Harwich.
1-1 sent to Daniel on to first, and Metz is retired. But a sac fly by Blake Sable gives the Gatemen their first run of the day. They find themselves up 1-0. Gatemen Baseball, you're watching it.
Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2017 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, two of America's favorite pastimes. The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Listen to the game wherever you go with the Next Radio app. Catch this station's local broadcast or stream all the action right on your phone. Visit the Google Play Store and download the free Next Radio app today. Sac fly from Blake Sable gives the Gatemen a 1-0 lead. As we are in the 7th, Alec Baum is at the plate.
Gatemen bullpen hasn't given up a run this season, so we'll see if they can do that again tonight, pitch the 7th, 8th, and 9th correctly, they'll come out of here with a win.
First pitch swinging. Nice play by Baird at short. Throws on to first and in time. Defense tonight from both teams has been stellar. One gone.
Well, the former #1 shortstop in California, Ben Baird, just made a great play fielding that ball on a one-hop. I think he was expecting it to bounce a little more than it did off the infield gravel. He made a nice play. Made sure that he got it, and he had plenty of time if he made a good throw to first, which he did. One away.
Willie Berger 0 for 3 on the night. Steps in. And you talk about this Falmouth team from last year. Basically the best team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. They went 29-15. Jeff Trundy, their manager, was manager of the year. This one sent on to Baird. Back-to-back plays. 2 gone. Yeah, Trundy won manager of the year. Their star pitcher, Jeff Passantino, won the ERA title, 0.64 ERA, and the Most Outstanding Pitcher Award. This team was on another level. The Outstanding Pro Prospect Award went to Michael Gigliotti at Lipscomb University. 310, 3 homers, 18 RBIs, 11 out of 12 stolen bases. And this team was filled with superstars just last year, but they couldn't do anything in the grand finale. They lost to YD in the championship.
Well, I mean, it's impressive that you get there in the first place. They had to go through Bourne in the semifinal rounds, and they got rid of them pretty quickly. So, I mean, you got to give them credit for what they put together last season, this coaching staff. But now you have a bunch of new players, and you got to get them to the same point if you can. They're already 0-2 this season, and if this result holds, they'll play 3 games without having a single win so far.
2 balls and 1 strike to Dotson, who fouls it off. Falmouth's about to play 10 games in 7 days.
Well, we're going to be doing something of the same, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's mostly the same. with the doubleheader tomorrow. Talk about that a little bit later. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Culbertson's pitch popped up. And will it be fair? No, it's foul.
Foul out of play. McIver chasing it there. Thought he could try to get it behind this big backstop area between home plate and where all the fans sit. Good effort, but you never know if a ball's going to stay in play for you to make a catch or not.
2-2 pitch. Fouled off the home plate umpire's mask, James Dion. Watch out.
He's all right, though. I think he's just asking for more baseballs, unless... Yep. He's not asking for ice or anything. Or
no, and apparently someone found our crowd mic as they're hovered over that. You could hear that a little bit. Got to get someone down there and say, get off. Also, last year with Falmouth, they started the hashtag #DoItForTrundy on Twitter. It was really trending throughout the whole baseball season because Falmouth has been in a drought 30-plus years. They haven't won a Cape League title.
Unlike the Gatemen, who have their last one in 2012.
2-2 sent back. Foul. Dotson doing a nice job.
And I don't want to say anything too soon, but we thought that the Gatemen, they were going to have their pieces coming in. A lot of them have decided not to come due to the draft or Team USA. But I think there are really good players here anyway that are temporary roster guys and might stick around for the summer.
Called strike 3. Nice off-speed pitch there from Culbertson. And the Commodores go 1-2-3. We are off to the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Eastern Propane, the official sponsor of the 7th inning stretch.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
We're stretching. And the Gatemen up 1-0. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. Claudia Chikamian on hand as well.
What's your favorite stretch?
My favorite stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any names of them, but I mean, you can just describe them.
I
know that's putting you on the spot.
I'd say the quad stretch.
Oh, yeah? Mine's when I put the elbow over the head and behind my back and just stretch like I am right now.
If there was a camera on you, it would be seen.
Wouldn't look all that good.
1-0 is the count to Topa. He's 1 for 2 on the day, single back in the third, and struck out looking to end the fourth. He sends this one on a rocket out to center field. Ranging over to his left is Wickham, and retires Topa.
They might be the 7, 8, 9 hitters in this lineup, but they certainly aren't in terms of talent. Topa, Baird, the 8 hitter who's up right now, and then Angelini, the 9 hitter, all have some pop in their bats. They all have the ability to steal and run and make a defense pay for making any sort of mistake. So, I mean, this Gatemen lineup up and down, I think they have the chips in place. Maybe this is a time where we could be talking about Gatemen's 8th Cape Cod League championship.
Baird sends it foul. You never know with the Cape Cod Baseball League. Gatemen up 1-0. ball and 1 strike. Baird reached on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd, then grounded out to short in the 5th. Fastball up and away, 2-1. There is an arm warming in the bullpen for Wareham. This one sent out to deep right center field. Wickham under it again.
Center fielders, both of them have been busy today. Wickham and Angelini, both done a good job. No errors in this game, I don't believe. Oh, we had one earlier in the game. Third baseman Dodson made one.
Other than that, it's been clean.
Yeah, and it's pitchers love that when their defense is making plays for them. I think there were a few ground balls in this game and a few fly balls, lineouts, that maybe could have been base hits had the fielders not been as great as they were.
Garrett Zeck will be pinch hitting for Nick Angelini out of South Florida.
Zeck was drafted in the 15th round of the 2015 draft by the Dodgers, elected to go to school. He and I were talking about that. He said that school's been a great experience for him and he wouldn't have traded it for the world. So 2 years ago, Zeck thinks he made the right decision by going to USF, and he certainly did. This year as a sophomore, hit .260 with a home run, had 14 RBIs and 17 stolen bases. Just fantastic speed out of Zeck. This is a guy I think could be an everyday lineup guy, and he's replacing Angelini right now. See how he does.
And there was definitely a reason why Major League teams wanted him out of high school. Batted .543 as a senior with 10 triples, 4 homers, and 30 RBIs. And that's talent.
Yeah, but this is an interesting spot to put a pinch hitter. I know you want to try to get Zeck in the game somehow. I think he's great defensively as well, but you know, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, a base hit here, I'm not sure how much it would help.
1-2 up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Zeck's brother Kyle played at Stetson University, and his brother Jordan played at Villanova, so both those guys, former Hampton's Collegiate Baseball League players.
And Zeck gets hit, so he's down to first with 2 outs.
Hold on, Jacob. The umpire here might have ruled that it hit the bat, the hands of the bat.
All right. And so he's not down to first.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it would have hit him, but I think right there, home plate umpire Dion was only going based on sound, and I think that's what he's going to tell Sneddon right now, unless Dion is ruling that he didn't get out of the way. That's sort of what it looks like with his arm motions, but I don't think it was a hit by pitch anyway. I think it hit the bottom of the bat. That's why Zeck's staying.
Got the attendance number for tonight, 980 coming out for opening day at Spillane.
Thank you to our awesome Gatemen fans coming out in droves over the years.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And they'll go down to first base regardless. Garrett Zeck on the walk. It's funny, I actually wrote down walk instead of hit by pitch on that last one by accident, so maybe I just know how to tell the future.
Maybe. Have you ever heard the phrase coined by Rasheed Wallace? Ball don't lie.
The ball don't lie.
So maybe it did hit Zeck.
It's one of my favorite phrases.
I love Rasheed Wallace. He's fantastic.
Brandon Lockridge. Now with the runner on first, it's Zeck.
That hit him.
And
that hit him.
Watch out. Lockridge is going down to first.
Dion knows this time. Nobody's going to argue with him.
That was up and in the shoulders. And now some action in the Falmouth bullpen.
The right fielder, number 7, Andy Shadid from Bradley.
And now Andy Shadid will step in with runners on first and second, 2 outs in a 1-0 ball game. The Gatemen leading this one over the Falmouth Commodores.
So remember when I said a couple of at-bats ago, not sure, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, this is a good time for a pinch hitter. Well, clearly was, because now it's still 2 outs, but you've got 2 runners on base. Maybe the Gatemen trying to put together a 2-out rally here to extend their lead.
Blom's first pitch to Shadid. A big cut and miss.
Shatted, I don't think you want to be trying to hit a home run here. I think you're trying to get a base hit for sure, because Zach has plenty of speed. You hit this one anywhere out of the infield, he's going to score.
Looking back at second base. That one in the dirt. Bro getting to it quickly as it squibbles near the Falmouth dugout.
Big breaking action on that pitch. Really impressive stuff. Tyler, the pitcher.
Zach at second, Lockridge at first. Ball in the dirt, blocked again by Bro.
Bro's been really clutch behind the plate right now. Believe me, it's not easy to block fastballs in the dirt because you're not really trained on that. You're really trained on breaking balls in the dirt because they happen all the time. But at this collegiate level, you're not expecting fastballs that you want around the knee level to be thrown down in the dust.
2-1. Fouled away.
Shatted 0 for 3 today, but that's not the way he's been hitting for the Gatemen so far this season. He's been playing really well, including player of the game honors in the 9-0 victory against Harwich on Thursday, which we've talked about many times in this broadcast. So we know what he can do. Some other ballparks in the Cape Cod Baseball League, he would have had a home run his last go-around instead of fly out to left field.
Shattered awaits the 2-2. Checked his swing. Did he go? No, he didn't.
No way he went there, and it was a great job holding up. Sometimes when you see that a off-speed pitch starts high, you think, oh, it's got to be a curveball. He's trying to get me down looking. That one was just a changeup, and it didn't fall anywhere, but the speed was enough to throw him off. That's why he thought about swinging in the first place. Once he saw that it wasn't that big, hanging 12-6 curveball, he held up.
Full count to Shatted with runners at first and second. Here it comes. Fouled straight back.
Great job fighting that one off after you saw a couple off-speed pitches. Tyler throws a fastball in on your hands. And that could have easily been a strikeout pitch, but Shatted, a really smart hitter as well as a talented hitter. He does a good job there.
And when you foul it straight back, you know you're on it. That's what they say.
Yep. Well, if he could drive this right back towards the pitcher or drive it out to right field, that'd be fantastic for the Gatemen right now.
3-2 pitch. Rocketed to the third baseman, bobbles it for a moment, still throwing to first, and in time. Nicely done by Zeke Dodson at third. He bobbled it for a moment, but the Gatemen strand two. They still lead it 1-0. Gatemen Baseball, the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, H.P. Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
To the 8th, we go. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico, 1-0. The Gatemen have it over the Falmouth Commodores.
Quick look around the Cape Cod Baseball League, Jacob. Harwich Mariners, they're leading the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox 5-2 right now. So when the Gatemen shut out Harwich the other night, we knew that they were a team that weren't deserving of that.
Sent to Lockridge at second, ranging over and couldn't do anything with it. So Bro will get on with an infield single.
Here in Wareham, we have a 1-0 lead. The Gatemen do over the Commodores. And in Orleans, they're playing baseball tonight out on the Upper Cape. And it was a 2-run first inning for the Bourne Braves in that East-West matchup. And the Braves right now, they have the lead in the top of the 5th. Over in Yarmouth Dennis, as we said before, they're in the bottom of the 9th. So the Red Sox on their last legs against the Mariners. And the other two games, Chatham and Brewster, Cotuit and Hyannis, those were both rained out tonight due to field conditions from the night before.
Bakina at the plate, tips it into the mitt, 0-1. One thing you did say, I have to correct you, I did this to Sam earlier in one of the other broadcasts. Orleans is actually the lower Cape. Upper Cape would be Bourne, Wareham. That's the Upper Cape. It's the opposite of what you would think.
Interesting.
Yes.
Thank you for helping me. I wish I asked before I said that on the air.
That one sliced foul, quickly 0-2.
So the closer you are to the mainland, that's the Upper Cape.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
It's like the Nile River. You know, the Upper Nile and the Lower Nile. It's reverse north-south.
Bro is the runner at first. No outs here in the top of the 8th. Culbertson's pitch. Sent foul again down the first baseline.
So there's 3 undefeated teams left in the Cape Cod Baseball League after tonight. If that score in Yarmouth holds up, the Red Sox are going to drop to 2-1, and the only undefeated teams left will be Brewster and Cotuit. Cotuit and Brewster both not playing tonight.
Bakina waiting the 0-2 pitch. Gets it, fights it off to the shortstop Baird. He bobbles it, and he won't have time to throw over to first. And now it's first and second for the Falmouth Commodores.
It's got to be frustrating for the pitcher, Culbertson. I mean, the first ground ball that was hit up the middle and fielded by Lockridge, even if he had fielded that ball cleanly, it would have been impossible to get the runner Bro over at first. And Baird saying my bad to his pitcher right now,
yeah,
Culbertson.
That'll be ruled an E6. Players are waiting on the field for a moment. The umpire was talking to the first base coach for Falmouth. Dale Wickham, the center fielder, who struck out swinging his last time up. He's 0 for 2 on the day, also flew out to left field. Bro at second, Bakina at first, showing bunt is Wickham. Call the ball.
I'm not sure he pulled that bat back in time, but the umpire, Dion, giving him the benefit of the doubt, I guess. So Metz, he was fielding bunt ground balls throughout practice earlier this afternoon. Let's see if he makes the right decision here if the ball comes his way.
Culbertson looks the runner at second. The 1-0 pitch, showing bunt again, was Wickham. It's outside, and the crowd doesn't like it.
Well, McIver right now, he's coming to talk to Culbertson, and that's because, you know, you got to figure out what the bunt defense is here. I thought the whole infield should have come in. But what they're doing is they're bringing Sabol deep on the first baseline. When this ball's pitched, he's going to be about 45 feet away from home plate. And then Metz is hanging out at third. So either the play is to try to get the lead runner at third, and the second baseman will swing around to first base. But right now he looks a bit too far.
Wickham showing bunt again. Pulls it back, but it was called a strike anyway. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That wasn't a strike. That was a makeup call for the first strike before where the bunt wasn't pulled back. So the count is 2-1 correctly. But interesting sequence of pitches. Gatemen bunt defense. Let's see how it does if this bunt can get put down by Wickham.
2-1. Bunt is put down. Coming towards it is Culbertson. Culbertson not going to have time. And nice stop at first base from Sable, because if he didn't stop it in the dirt, Bro would have came around to score. But now the bases are loaded for the Falmouth Commodores.
The reason I don't like that play is because the bunt was put perfectly down the third base line, exactly where he wanted it, and Metz was too far away to make the play. Instead, Culbertson fielded it, didn't make a good throw. I think instead what you want to do is you want to have your shortstop covering third, the second baseman keeping the runner home at second, making sure he doesn't get too much of a lead, and you want Metz to make the throw to Sabol over to first base instead of having Culbertson make an off-balance throw to a first baseman, Sabol, who wasn't even covering the bag.
Lee Solomon now has the bases loaded and a big cut and miss. Or maybe he got a piece of it.
So just like Justin Montgomery yesterday in Harwich, Culbertson's going to try to get out of his own bases loaded jam with nobody out. Big spot right here for both teams.
Bro at third, Bakina at second, Wickham at first. No outs in the inning, and the Gatemen up 1-0. And now the game will be tied. Solomon drilled in the back. Coming to score is Bro. And we've got a whole different ball game here at Spillane. Falmouth ties it up 1-1.
Interesting sequence of pitches this inning in the bottom of the eighth. Gatemen bullpen finally gives up a run, and it was Arkansas Red Wolf. It was Culbertson here who just pegged Solomon right in the back, as you said.
And now pitching coach Jim Lawler will come out to the mound.
This doesn't look like a pitching change, even though the outfielders and the infielders are getting together. Maybe this is just going to...
It will be a pitching change.
Okay, so
Lawler comes out to do the pitching change. We're going to take a short break, but be right back as it's a whole new ball game, 1-1. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Pitching change made by Wareham. Peyton Culbertson goes 2 innings, 2 hits, lets up an earned run, a walk and 2 strikeouts. It's now Frankie Bartow.
Frankie Bartow went to high school at Terra Environmental Research Institute in Miami, Florida.
Whoa.
Terra is a charter school in Miami-Dade known as the Green School. So students there studying how to be environmentally friendly.
His major is sports administration, so he doesn't go with...
I mean, I don't know exactly what the Terra School does.
The 0-1 sliced back, and it's quickly 0-2. Clayton Daniels is the batter. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk back in the 6th.
You never know with charter schools how they're going to be. You went to one, didn't you?
High school, yep. No balls and 2 strikes with the bases juiced. That one outside. Some breaking news. The Twins have signed number 1 overall draft pick, Royce Lewis, to a contract. Some MLB news in there.
Must pay a lot of money to be a number 1 overall draft pick in
almost
Major League
$7 million.
Baseball. Wow. Wow, wow.
1-2 from Bartow, fought off foul.
you never know who's playing on Cape Cod. That could one day be a number 1 overall draft pick. I believe 4 of the 5 top picks this year were Cape Cod Baseball League players.
Believe so.
Correct on that?
Something. Yep. Something like that. We'll get word on that. It was a lot. Daniel awaits the 1-2. Fights it off.
Bartow a long way away from being drafted at this point. He just finished his freshman year with the Miami Hurricanes. 28 appearances, all of them in relief. 3.60 ERA, 19 strikeouts, and the big one, 12 saves. Really impressive stuff with a 1-3 record. So Bartow coming on the scene with the Hurricanes this year.
The 1-2 is sent out to center field. Going back is Zek. Makes the catch. It's enough to send Bekina from third, and the Falmouth Commodores take a 2-1 lead.
Well, it was a good piece of hitting right there by Daniel. He was 0 for 2 on the day with the walk, and he finally hits one hard somewhere, and it was deep enough to center field where there was no chance Zek was going to get the runner coming to home. In fact, the runner at second base took off for third, and now there's runners on the corners with 1 out. So Bartow, even though that run isn't his, he's not out of this inning yet.
Logan Davidson will step to the plate. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in this game. Wickham at third, Solomon at first, and now a 2-1 lead for the Commodores over the Gatemen at Spillane Field.
Both runs to take the lead in this game by the Gatemen in the 7th or in the 6th, and now by Falmouth in the 8th. Both of them came off of sac flies, so that just proves and shows the pitchers have been really dominant today. Even when they're giving up runs, they're getting outs.
1-0 on the inside part for a strike, 1-1. Bartow's 12 saves were 4th in the ACC this year. He's got a fastball changeup curve combination. Ranges about 87 to 91 on his sinking fastball, 69 on his changing curve. So velocity not a big part of his game. It's finesse.
Yeah, and he's got to do a good job of pitching right now for the Gatemen. If you're going to come out here in this 8th inning, you already have an out. You have the first out of the inning, picking up where Culbertson left off. You gotta find a way to make this a reasonable inning for the Gatemen so they can come back in the 8th and 9th.
Davidson at the plate with Wickham at third and Solomon at first.
Solomon's a threat to go.
2-2 is sent in between Sable and Lockridge between first and second. Another run comes around to score. It's Wickham. And an RBI single for Logan Davidson. It's now 3-1 in favor of the Commodores.
Well, that ball almost hit Solomon, and that was really close to becoming an out and not a run for the Gatemen, but Solomon dancing out of the way in the 3-4 gap and does a good job advancing to second base. He had a big lead over there.
Alec Bohm, the DH, 0 for 3 on the day. Flied out to end the first, flew out to end the fourth, grounded out to start the 7th. Solomon at second, and now Davidson at first. And a first pitch strike delivered by Bartow.
Falmouth dangerously close to batting around in the order. Baum is up here, Berger's on deck, Dodson after that, and then Bro, he led off this inning with a base hit, scored a run.
Alec Baum is a home run threat, won the Coastal Plain League Home Run Derby this past summer. The 0-1 rocketed to Baird at short. They'll flip to second for one, on to first. And they get out of the inning. A 6-4-3 double play, but not before 3 runs cross the plate for the Commodores. They take a 3-1 lead.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org. The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
It's a whole new ball game here at Spillane Field. A 3-run 8th inning for the Commodores gives the Falmouth team a 3-1 lead over the Gatemen. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. It'll be Willie McIver, Jake Anchia, and Blake Sable. And look at this. Nice piece of hitting from McIver. He's going to round first. He'll stop, but he leads it off with a first pitch single.
Exactly what the Gatemen needed right there. A little pep in their step, a little spark in the bat. That's what Willie McIver provides right there in the 3-hole. Now you got your cleanup hitter coming up in Anchia. The walls might be deep here at Clem Spillane Field, but one swing of the bat could make this a tie ball game again. But if you're Anchia, I wouldn't be thinking about that. I would be thinking more about how you're going to get yourself on base and let the hitters behind you take care of you.
First pitch, low for a ball. 1-0 to Anchia, who is 0 for 2 today. Flew out to end the second, grounded out to start the fourth, and then walked back in the sixth.
Good fastball right there on the inside corner. It complements his 12-6 curveball very well. They look similar at first, even though they're completely different speeds. They look like they're coming right at you, and then that curveball drops off if you're going to see it.
Blum's 1-1.
There it was.
There it is.
Wow. Now you're behind in the count 1-2. You got to be ready. Fastball, but adjust for the curveball, and sometimes when you see a curveball like this, it might be a little too difficult. Yep.
Anchia, late swing, goes down for the second out.
That's the opposite of what
or rather the first out.
Yeah, first out of the inning. You still got McIver on first base. You got to find a way to get him across. Fortunately for the Gatemen now, you have a lefty-lefty matchup. Sabol's still a great hitter, but you wonder what he's going to do against this lefty who has that fantastic curveball that runs away from him.
Sable had the sac fly in the sixth. Gave the Gatemen their only run. Runner goes. The throw from Bro to second base. Not in time. And McIver has a stolen base.
That's his second of the day. He took third before. He's got really good awareness out on the base paths, which you don't see all the time with catchers. He's got his second stolen base of the Cape Cod Baseball League season now, and that's a great play by him. Single scores him.
Sable represents the tying run at the plate. And he takes a strike.
Sable frustrated with himself. That's probably the last fastball that he's going to see. That was right down the pipe in this game.
So McIver now at second on the stolen base, his second of the day, a 1-1 count to Blake Sable. Just missing outside.
Sable can get a hit here. Robbie Metz is up next. He hasn't had a fantastic day. He's 0 for 3, in fact, but leader of these Gatemen, he can come through in late game situations. He's the guy you want on deck right now.
2-1 becomes 3-1.
Oof, that was a very close pitch, and I I think a lot of the Falmouth fans weren't happy with that call, but more Gatemen fans are pleased with Sable saying good eye, and it really was. It's hard to stare down a fastball like that. The only thing Sable could have done with that is push it the other way. Decides to leave the bat on his shoulder. Now, we were talking about that box before. Sable's got to pinpoint one that he likes and swing at it.
3-1 is sent out to left field. Solomon's under it to retire Sable, 2 outs.
Well, it was in that box. I think that's where Sable wanted it. It was just a bit late on the ball. That was one that was over the center of the plate that he should have driven back towards the pitcher. Instead, he's late on the fastball like many of these Gatemen pitchers have been with Blum, and he's out.
Robbie Metz stepping in, again represents the tying run at the plate. He's used to these situations.
Yeah, he's got to get an RBI here for the Gatemen right now. You would like to see that in order to keep this game alive, make it a 1-run game going into the 9th. Oof, that's a great curveball.
A little bit high, so just misses. Metz today 0 for 3, has grounded out twice to end innings and has struck out.
13 RBIs with the Gatemen last year.
Fights this one off foul.
Now 1-1 count. You wonder what's on his mind. He's been seeing this curveball. You know, when guys are good hitters, it's because they watch the hitters in front of them intently. Watch the pitches that are coming in. If I'm a Gateman right now, I'm scared of this curveball. It's got a lot of action on it.
Blom's 1-1 pitch. And in the dirt low.
So all you can identify, because the pitches look the same, all you can identify off the hand is the speed, and that's incredibly difficult to do. Hard to see the spin right away on a breaking ball like this.
Metz sends one out to center field. Going back is Wickham. And that'll end the inning. So Metz flies out, and the Gatemen strand 1. We're headed to the 9th. And Wareham trails 3-1.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Gatemen find themselves down by 2. We head to the 9th. Jacob Toby, along with Connor Federico. Frankie Bartow's night is done. He went 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. It's now John Amendola's turn.
With Franklin Pierce this year, Amendola, 10 starts and 2 relief appearances. a 1.62 ERA, 7-3 record. Really fantastic stuff out of the starter for the Ravens. 69 strikeouts, and he did it very well. He had a CCA All-East second team performance and an NCBWA All-East honorable mention. Those are D2 awards. Former Northeastern Husky, played there his freshman year and then transferred to Franklin Pierce after the year he had in 2015.
Ridiculous strikeout to walk ratio, 8.63.
Jeez. Jeez.
And we're going to settle this now. He is not related to Patriot Danny Amendola.
Yep, he is not. Do we know that?
We do know that. He said that at the first pitch dinner when he introduced himself as Willie Berger steps in.
It's not an uncommon name, I don't think, Amendola. I guess around these parts, everybody's thinking the receiver. Patriots really love those small receiver types that go in the slot. Amendola, Wes Welker before him.
I could talk about the Pats all day, but I won't. Too much to talk about, too many championships. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Gatemen want to get out of this inning without letting up a run so they can try to rally in the bottom of the ninth. Berger awaits the 1-2. Framed by McIver. Home plate umpire James Dion wasn't buying it.
If everything holds true in this top of the ninth inning and pitcher can get through these Falmouth batters here, only be 2 of 27 innings of baseball that they've given up runs.
Ranging over is Shatted. He couldn't make the catch.
Tough play out there in foul territory. Long, long run. Hopefully he'll get his time to catch his breath before Amendola throws his next pitch.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Willie Berger slices this one foul. Approaching the same area. This one it goes completely out of bounds. Fair play. Berger having a nice at-bat here to start off the ninth.
Yeah, beautiful sunset, beautiful sky right now here.
It's always nice in that area.
Looking out back towards mainland Massachusetts.
2-2 ripped to the third baseman, Metz. One gone.
Great play by Metz as he's been making those plays at third base all night. First game of the year, he was at second base and then moved to DH for the last game. I think coaching staff really likes Lockridge in that second base role, and Metz, he's not going to be picky because he knows he has the ability to play any position that he can, and he's in the position to help the Gatemen win no matter what he does.
Zeke Dodson will face Amendola, take a first pitch strike. Is it hard on a player to not know where you're going to be playing every day, as you're so versatile, you can be so many different places at once?
I think you would like to know at least a couple hours in advance, and I think Metz knew that today. I got down to the field around 2:30. He was taking ground balls at third base, so I think that's perfectly reasonable. I don't think you go to bed at night thinking, man, what position am I going to play tomorrow? But when you're a utility guy, you know that you're going to try to help the team in whatever way you can, get some guys DH spots, get some guys off nights. So, I mean, it's certainly a lot more fun to be a utility guy because you get to see the game from all different angles. You get to make different sorts of throws. There's nothing repetitive about moving from spot to spot every night.
Be interesting to hear what his favorite position is. Surprised we haven't asked him that yet.
Well, with George Washington, he plays second base and second base only. Him and Fosnot have been a very dynamic duo up the middle for the Colonials this year.
Some squib foul on the first base line.
But, I mean, if he's playing second base with the Gatemen, fine. If he's playing third base, fine. If he's pitching, I mean, he's incredible on the mound. He had a great year for George Washington this year, and he's been pitching and hitting for them for the past 3 years. He told me this preseason, he says, I don't really have a favorite, but it's, when I'm up to bat or when I'm on the mound, It's all about doing what I'm doing in the moment to the best of my ability. And that's the mindset that you want any ball player to have.
1-2, swing and a miss. Dropped by the catcher, McIver, but he throws down to first. And Dodson is retired, 2 gone in the top of the 9th.
Great pitch in the dirt there by Amendola. That's how you want to get your swinging strikeout. Fool him, throw the ball in the dirt. There's no way you're getting a base hit off a ball in the dirt, but you can get a strikeout. So if you've got a 1-2 or an 0-2 count, throw that ball in the dirt. Why the heck not? It works for Amendola right there. 2 away.
Bro comes up. He's 2 for 3. 2 singles. Came around to score in the 8th. First pitch swinging.
7, 8, 9 coming up for the Gatemen in the bottom of the 9th. They'd like to make a little comeback right here. Topa, he had a single. He's leading off. He is 1 for 3 today. Baird is 0 for 3, but reached on a fielder's choice. And then Angelini is out of the game. He was 0 for 2, and Zek is in that spot right now. So we'll see if we see any pinch hitting moves by Coach Sneddon, see if the chess match is going to begin late in the 9th. But I don't know. I trust Topa, Baird, and Zek at the bottom of that lineup.
They have Fosnot, Dodson, Kyle Knopf on the bench.
I think out of those guys, Dodson might be the guy that I bring in to pinch hit. He did well yesterday against Harwich.
Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning for Amendola. And the Commodores go 1-2-3. Can the Gatemen come back and win this one? Find out next. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Will there be a walk-off, or will the Gatemen fall to 1-2? Stay right here. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. Gatemen trailing at 3-1. And a new pitcher on the hill for the Commodores. It's Scott Politz.
Well, this is not the guy that you wanted to see if you're the Gatemen right now. From Yale, 13 starts and 13 appearances this year. He got a decision in all of his appearances this year. 11 wins and 2 losses for the Bulldogs. He threw 7 complete games. And 7 complete games this year, which is very impressive. In his 92 innings of work, threw 75 strikeouts. His 3.23 ERA did very well for Yale. They had a good season this year in the Ivy League. And Topa's going to lead off for the Gatemen, and I like the move. Keep the guy in who has a single in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Gatemen pinch hit for Ben Baird, but he's in the on-deck circle right now. And then you have Garrett Zek after that. So Topa, all you can do is stroke a base hit somewhere, serve it into right field if the fastball from Politz is really good.
Topa 1 for 3 on the day, singled back in the 3rd.
That's the hardest fastball we've seen today by far. Politz just pushed that one in there, Topa. It's going to be hard to react.
And now Topa quickly down 0-2. What do you look for here as a hitter?
Well, you got to be scared that he's going to go off speed, especially because you haven't seen it yet. Pitchers rarely throw off-speed stuff warming up between innings. He was probably doing it in the bullpen before. But if Topa's not catching up with a fastball, why not go back to it?
Held up there.
Looked like it was a breaking ball of some sort, but this is similar speed. So it's not a true curveball, but it's a slider or a cutter that moves away from a righty.
1-2.
Topa doing a good job leaving the bat on his shoulder, working his way back into this at-bat. Now you got a 2-2 count. You got to protect the plate, but just foul something off. Try to get that third ball to your name.
This one's set into right field for a base hit. Topa finds himself on first. Ben Baird now represents the tying run.
Topa is 2 for 4 on the day now, and this is what we were talking about in the pregame. He's got a lot of skill. He's someone that maybe you would move up to the leadoff role. Lockridge has been doing a good job, but Topa in the middle of the order, hitting 7th. He leads off this bottom of the 9th inning, and it's a great spot to get the second base hit of the game. Ben Baird trying to get his first. This would be a really nice spot if he could get on base. He represents the tying run.
So some excitement here at Spillane opening day for the Wareham Gatemen. Tomorrow, a doubleheader with the Chatham Anglers.
We'll be driving all the way out to Chatham for that one. Really looking forward to it.
One of the better atmospheres in the Cape Cod Baseball League at Veterans Field, where the All-Star Game was hosted last year.
We're looking forward to hosting the All-Star Game this year, Jacob.
A lot of preparation needs to go into hosting a Cape League All-Star Game, the year-long event.
People at the top of this organization have been planning this since January. Pop-ups for All-Star Game have been coming on the website, really asking for people to come out and volunteer in droves. If you'd like to volunteer, send us an email or go on the Gatemen website, gatemen.org.
There's going to be a lot of people at Spillane that day. They check over at first. I would guess mid 7,000s.
Wow.
For an All-Star game. 1-2 on a line to right field and in for a base hit. It's going to be first and second for the Gatemen. Topa to second, Baird to first.
Topa makes a good decision there. He wanted around second, heading for third, but he holds up. And now the Commodores are going to have a chat here on the mound. It's going to be the shortstop, Davidson, chatting with his pitcher and his catcher, Bro. So I think that chat right there was about how we're going to mess with Topa's mind a little bit. Dodge and weave inside, come back towards second base, make sure he can't strand too far from second base. Topa's run isn't the one that matters, though. It is Baird's.
If you're Zek, are you bunting?
Down
the first base line?
We'll see what the coaches say to him right now. He's not showing bunt. Let's see what he does on the first pitch. I could make a case for either.
He does show bunt, pulls it back.
If you bunt here successfully and Topa moves to third and then Baird to second, you have two speedy guys on base right there.
And then a base hit could score two.
Base hit could score two, and you have the top of your lineup coming up. Bunt is the right move here, especially because Zek has a lot of speed.
Zek showing it again, gets it down.
This
Runners go from
hit.
second to third. And now, safe at first, coming from third is Topa. That's one run. And now runners at the corners.
Well, we just said Zek has a lot of speed, and he showed it off right there. Pitcher came in to field this ball. Polish threw it right at the back of Zek. Second time he's gotten hit in this game. The first time was when he took first on a hit by pitch, but then was sent back. So the Gatemen are in the driver's seat right now. The tying run is on third base. The winning run is on first. There's speed everywhere right now.
Score that, a single for Baird and an E4, or a single for Zek, rather.
So Zek will not get the RBI.
He will not. As Lockridge steps in. So it's 3-2. Tying run 90 feet away.
Unselfish hitting right now for the Gatemen. All three guys getting up there and getting singles.
Lockridge shows bunt.
I like the idea. When you have speedy guys on the corners and you're a speedy guy yourself, why not try to get 2 bunt base hits in a row? The corners are in right now, so they're not in because they're expecting bunt. They're in because they're going to try to cut off a run heading towards home.
Politz running into some issues here in the bottom of the 9th. Lockridge at the plate with a 1-1 count, runners at the corners. Lockridge to the shortstop, and he bobbles it, and a run will score, and the game is tied. Davidson couldn't handle it, and it looks as if he may be hurt. He got hit in the head with the baseball.
That's a really tough break right there for Davidson, the shortstop. That could have been a turn 2 opportunity, even with the speed of Lockridge, but that ball just hit somewhere between the grass and the gravel here at Spillane Field, and that's why it's called home field advantage. Davidson wasn't expecting that at all. It bounced from the ground and suddenly came up and hit him right in the shoulder of the head. So he's getting checked on right now by the Falmouth training staff, and don't know where this game could go from here, but the Gatemen have the winning run on second base.
Jeff Trundy, the manager for Falmouth, out there as well. That will be scored, an RBI single for Lockridge. Coming home to score was Baird, and now at second base is Garrett Zeck.
4 straight singles for the Gatemen. None of them trying to get up there and take home run swings and be a hero. They're just trying to extend the game, see what the hitters behind them in the lineup can do. If they can have a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th here, that would be really exciting. This has already been an exciting bottom of the 9th.
Wow,
it's been a great game.
You're getting treated very well for your first home game here at Spillane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was a Gatemen team that won 25 games last year, so the coaching staff knows what they're doing. They know how to motivate their players. Thankfully, the shortstop Davidson gets up here.
So he's going to stay in, it looks like.
Yeah, that ball just took a really tough hop on him. You know, you can't fault him at all. That's why it was scored a single. Nobody, you know, maybe it could have been Fosnot or our shortstop Baird who take ground balls here. Nobody would have expected that kind of hop, and that has nothing to do with Spillane Field. That's just baseball sometimes. The ball bounces a different way than you think it's going to.
Shattered at the plate, runners at first and second showing bunt.
If I'm Don Sneddon, I'm asking Shattered to put a bunt down here any way that you possibly can.
Willie McIver would then be the next batter. Crowd getting into it at Spillane. Politz is 1-0. Called a strike.
And if you're Shattered, you got to pull this one down the third base line, because the only way Falmouth plans on fielding this ball right now is with the first baseman, catcher, or pitcher and throwing it straight to the third baseman, Dodson. That's the only thing they have on their minds right now. Get that lead runner.
1-1 to Shattered. Bunts it foul, and now he's got to go up there and hack one.
Yeah, I mean, which is certainly not disappointing, especially because Shattered has some pop in his bat. You drive one towards right field, maybe get a sac fly, or, you know, you have a 1-2 count. Protect the plate. Put this ball in play. That's what the Gatemen really want out of Andy Shattered right now. Don't be a hero. Don't try to take some big cut. Just put the ball in play and see what happens.
Zeck at second, Lockridge at first, Shattered at the plate, time called by James Dion.
That was a good calling of time right there by Shattered. Want to make sure that you're completely prepared for this pitch. We said Politz has the fastest fastball that we've seen today.
Politz with the 1-2. Just outside, that's close.
That was really close, and it was a good job of framing there by Bro. Dion was not fooled. That ball was definitely just missing the outside corner.
Two to Shattered. Sends it up. They'll go to second for one. On to first, the double play. Runner moves over to third. That runner is Garrett Zeck.
Wow, that just took the life out of Clem Spillane Field completely. A double play by Andy Shattered. He sends it right up the middle. A tailor-made double play. Davidson steps on the bag at second and then turns it onto the first baseman, Berger. Really easy double play ball. That's a base hit if nobody's on base. because the second baseman and shortstop are more towards the gaps. But that one was just hit right up the middle towards the shortstop.
McIver still has a chance to win it.
McIver has 2 singles in this game. A 3-for-5 night would be fantastic for him if he can drive one in right here. Has 2 stolen bases as well.
Hacks at one and nicks it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
What a great first game, like you were saying, Jacob, at Spillane
Yeah.
Field. This is an electric atmosphere right now. Everybody's loving this. They want to see the Gatemen leave here with a win after a game that was 0-0 most of the contest.
1-1, taken for a strike. Here's where it gets interesting. Pitcher versus hitter. Politz versus McIver.
Nothing else matters right now. You can't be worried about Zek at third base. It's either you get McIver out or you don't.
The 1-2 is chopped in the infield. Coming over is Politz. He doesn't handle the baseball. The run scores. The Gatemen win their 3rd consecutive home opener. 4-3. What an ending. McIver sends in the run. Zek scores. That's a good first game.
What a finish. Man, that is a tough way to lose if you're the Falmouth Commodores, but an interesting way to win for the Gatemen. That last dinker of a ground ball over to the first base side by McIver is not a good painting of the entire 9th inning, because the 9th inning was full of great base hits by the Gatemen, pushing these runs across, getting these hits was an absolutely fantastic job by them as these two teams shake hands right now, and you have to give all the credit in the world to the Falmouth Commodores. They're 0-3, but they certainly don't deserve it. They put in Politz, who they might have thought was going to be their closer this season, but they might have to readjust now after he gives up 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and the Wareham Gatemen take their 2nd win of the season.
Holy smokes.
What an ending.
What an ending for the Gatemen. And you take a look at the box score. McIver's RBI single to win the game, and just the overall box score in general. The Gatemen, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Falmouth, 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. Look at the starting pitchers. First, Justin Glover, really strong. 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned, no walks, and 4 Ks.
He deserved a win in this one. He'll get a no decision, but I think you're happy any time that you step on the mound and your team takes a win. And I'll tell you who's feeling a lot better about himself right now, Peyton Culbertson. Those earned runs belong to him, those 3 earned runs on the scoreboard for Falmouth. He was in line for the loss in this one. And instead, the Gatemen come through in the bottom of the 9th, an overall team effort. And we talk about all these guys coming in from across the country. Many of them don't know each other. This is the starting point for the Gatemen team chemistry for the rest of the season. Walk-offs, hard-fought wins, doing it together, laughing together, getting the win together, being teammates and being one group. This is the beginning of the start of something special this year for the Gatemen.
So the Gatemen walk off. They win it 4-3 over the Falmouth Commodores. Thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producer of today's broadcast is Matt Wieselthaler. Our sideline reporter is Claudia Chikami, and the next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Gatemen visit the Chatham Anglers for a doubleheader. The first game starts at 5 p.m. So for Connor Federico, I'm Jacob Toby. Thanks for tuning in to this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.